And a very good, happy Friday to you and all of you. It's Danny Boy
And Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy. What's going on, folks? We made it through another week.
and another beautiful week where we welcome in SIP, SIN. I was about to say Gabe. Yeah, episode 419. We appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for joining us on Friday. Um, and It's always good to know that we got some really juicy topics to talk about. NBA Finals is underway, and it's a doozy, a massive doozy. The Knickerbockers in a massive search for the replacement Tom Thibodeau. We'll be talking about that, and then of course, an old friend of ours finally is on a team. And we'll be joining them mini camp. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers and his new ventures. But we got to start with the NBA Finals, Bill.
Yes, game one. The Pacers beat the Thunder 110 to 111 to 110.
Yeah. In a shocker, a massive, massive shocker. Um, I mean, I just couldn't believe once again, and thank goodness that it's Tyrese Halliburton. That was the main home wrecker for this game. It makes me feel better knowing that, you know, what the Knicks experienced doesn't have to be all by itself in an island. We can have a group of people. We can have the Cleveland fans. We can have the Bucks fans. And now we can have the OKC fan experience what it's like to be absolutely crushed by Tyrese Halliburton in the final moments. The Pacers only led Bill for point 0.3 seconds.
Point three.
Zero point 0.3 seconds. They did not lead the entire game until zero point 0.3 seconds left in the game. That's how wild it was.
Bro,
Um,
that's insane.
yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder for 3 quarters played tremendous ball. They're up, but the most they were up by was 15. Midway through the fourth, they had a 13-point lead. And then, of course, the Pacers, because of their defense, because of their resiliency, because the Thunder um, kind of cooled off a bit and started being very reliant on the mid-range jumpers, three-pointers, not sticking to their guns going into the paint a lot. The Pacers started chipping away, and they did it their way. And shout out again, Rick Carlisle, for a tremendous coaching job, keeping this team in it, and all that stuff. So um, devastating for OKC. Great for basketball, though. Like this is awesome. You know?
You know, because the Pacers almost got thunderstruck.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad at first. I mean, they had 24 turnovers, which the Pacers they never I mean, they never get 24 turnovers. But here's the thing. The Thunder, they're a great defensive team. Usually when they get a turnover, Bill, it becomes points, right? That's what the Pacers are very good at against the Knicks. They turn the turnovers into points. The Thunder
Yes.
are like the master class of that. Think about the what the Pacers do, but 10 times better. The Pacers defense only held those turnovers to 11 points. So the Thunder only got 11 points off those turnovers, which is massive. That's how they were able to stay in the game because otherwise this would have been a massive blowout. You know, they were on the Pacers looked like they were on a different planet than OKC all night. If it wasn't for the defense to come up big when it was supposed to, it would have been pretty bad. Pretty bad for them.
Oh, it would have been really, really bad. it would have been really bad for the Pacers.
Yeah,
Or, but anyway, yeah. So the Pacers take game one.
yeah.
Game two will be Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, they only play on weekends on Sundays, which is kind of stupid. But and then
Yeah,
of
I
course,
don't question it.
yeah, and then of course the NBA Finals. They take like a trillion days off before the next game, so you're going to see that same formula after game two. They're going to take 3 days before they get back.
Game three,
Um,
which is Wednesday.
yeah, so it's wild. It's
Yeah, why do
wild the
they take so
timeline.
many damn days off, bro?
I mean, I don't know. I
Why
don't
do
know.
they?
It's too long. It's too long.
So yeah, Pacers take game one. I think this is going to be an interesting series.
Yeah, well, now it's definitely an interesting series, and of course, the Thunder, they didn't let it go. Like they were very much aware that they choked away that game, and they are pretty pissed about it. Now, of course, they've been here before. Remember the Nuggets, um, in the second round. They took game one from OKC, and then OKC bounced back. They ended up taking the series. Um, but of course, this is different. This is the finals. And this is the Nuggets, while they were a good team, they're not the resilient Indiana Pacers, you know, who have been absolute killers
Oh, they
down
have
the
been.
stretch.
They've been absolute killers here.
Yeah.
And like this is a team I would not count in.
Yeah. Well, certainly now, not after game one, definitely not a good idea for sure. Um, Again, props to Rick Carlisle, props to the Pacers for staying in it. And oh man, this is gonna be a juicy finals. This is gonna be very juicy. Um,
Go. Let's
I think it
freaking
goes seven. I think it goes seven. I think it goes back to OKC for the chance at a title. I don't think OKC is gonna be like the Knicks that allows two games to slip away at home, and then the Pacers all of a sudden have this massive home advantage. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No,
That's
I
gonna
think
be very
OKC
tough.
is gonna. Yeah, I think OKC is gonna be going back to Indiana. Is gonna be on Indiana split 1-1.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he had 38 points. You'd think that'd be enough for the Thunder to win, but it wasn't. Um, you think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has 38 points in game one? He'll probably have more in game two to try to will this team. And I am very sure the Thunder, they're going to clean up. But here's the thing, the Pacers, that defense can be really tough for the Thunder now. Now that I know that they match up well defensively, um, might be a bit tougher than we thought for OKC. But I have no doubt they'll win game two, and they'll even the series, and then I love the song and dance. This is gonna be a great series. It's gonna be a
Oh,
great,
this is gonna be a good one, isn't it?
yeah, tremendous stuff.
So yeah, game two will be Sunday night in OKC. Now some other NBA news, which, dude, this makes no sense, does it?
No, I'm still mad about it. Tom Thibodeau
Of the
out.
Knicks was fired this week,
He's out
which,
as Knicks coach. Yes,
okay, let me get this straight. Is someone who coached your team to probably its best finish in a quarter of a century
it's best.
worthy
Period.
of losing their job? Like,
Yeah.
Reggie, on what planet does this make sense on?
It doesn't.
This is why we can't stand the
Yeah.
Dolans.
And let's be clear, folks. Bill nailed it. I don't want to hear this nonsense about how, well, it was Leon Rose's decision with Dolan's backing. Thibs signed a massive contract extension last season to stay on as Knicks head coach. That's like $30 million. You mean to tell me that Dolan eating $30 million wasn't his decision? Come on now. You can't eat that much money from the contract extension and be like, it wasn't really my decision. Now get the fuck out of here. No, this was a Dolan decision. Let's be real about that. Now, Leon Rose can say wherever the hell he wants. He doesn't talk to the media anyway. Whatever can be put out there by his people who give this all this information out to the media, fine, whatever. This was a Dolan decision, and Leon Rose had to go with it. So obviously he'll take it, he'll eat it. Um, but Bill, I don't understand. Look, the Pacers series was not his fault. And look, we can criticize his coaching methods. He's not perfect, but the culture was back with the Knicks. The Knicks had this had this swagger that we hadn't seen in a long time. This massive, massive, great culture that he built for 5 years. And now he's gone. And now we got to replace him with someone that didn't build this.
No.
And it's going to come into a nearly impossible situation where you're not building a program. You're going to take this program that was built by someone else and go to the finals. And that's the goal. The goal is the finals.
And because you know what? I would like to know, Jim Dolan, if you're watching this, and we know you're watching,
Yeah.
why would you fire a coach who led you to the semifinals last year, led you to the conference finals this year?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna say this again. On what planet does this make sense on?
2 straight years of 50-win seasons. Like, when do the Knicks in my lifetime, obviously, you go back to the 90s, but the Knicks in my lifetime, whenever I've watched them and actually followed them passionately, have never got 50 wins 2 straight years. That's never happened, ever. Hasn't happened this century.
And because you know what? This could set the Knicks back.
And that's another thing that we fear. Yes, a new voice may be needed, but is that new voice going to actually take them to the promised land? Or is it going to, like Bill said, send them back? If I don't see an NBA championship, Bill, this is a massive, massive downgrade. And
I
the Knicks are going to
agree.
get a lot of heat next season if they don't even sniff a conference final. Even if they don't sniff a semifinal, a conference semifinal, second round, they're it's going to be really bad.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't know what Jim Dolan was thinking. But the
Yeah.
real question would be, Reggie, my friend, does he ever think?
Mm. Yeah.
Does he?
I don't think so. And look, the Knicks have lost a lot of assets. Let's be real. You know, Trying to get this team better, trying to build a championship, you know, they've lost quite a lot. They lost draft picks with the Bridges trade. I know they traded some. They traded Quinn Grimes, who had a good season. Um, Split with two teams. He with the Alec Burks and Bogdanovich trade, of course, one of those players is in Brooklyn. So and then of course the DiVincenzo Randall. So then the Knicks have drained a lot of these assets, and the goal obviously is to win the title. But now you're putting whoever is going to come in here into a unfair situation where you have to bring the Knicks the title. That's just not something that you would want to expect. So we move forward. I don't get it. You go to the conference final. Look, your defense is piss poor. Tibbs is a defensive coach. He's a defensive minded guy. Your defense is piss poor. Your top two players are offensive centric. There's no ball movement. Like at some point, like I get it. But when do you start blaming the players? When do you start blaming Jalen Brunson for holding the ball too long? And I love Brunson, generational Nick. When do you start blaming him? Cat for being as soft as he is and not understanding how defense works. The turnovers by everyone on that team.
Yeah, when is it not Thibodeau? Okay, Mr. Dolan, when is it not Thibodeau's fault?
Yeah,
Why don't you blame the damn players and not Thibodeau?
yeah. But of course,
So
they'll
he
never do
gone,
that.
and this
They'll
is
never
just
do that. Tibbs didn't do that. He never put his players out in the open and blamed them. So it's the business. Look, if you don't go to the promised land, that's how the business works. And with all these great coaches being fired left and right in this league, in any league, really. We've seen it in the NFL, we've seen it in baseball, all these great, coaches and managers going. It's giving the Knicks a lot of power to do so. So they're in a massive coaching search. I'm hearing about Johnny Bryant. I don't know if I feel good about that. He's never been a head coach, but he was on Tips' staff. So it would make me feel better, but I'm not cool with that. Michael Malone, we know he's won the finals. That's cool. Frank Vogel. I've also heard Dan Hurley. I don't know if he wants to leave college. There's a lot that the Knicks can go with.
it is. No, I totally. Yeah, depends on what they do.
Yeah. And they have to
Again,
win the finals.
this was just a stupid move from a
Yeah.
stupid ass owner.
Yeah. And it is the owner. We're not gonna play this game. It's the owner that made this decision. Let's be real about that. And if you can't be real about that, then you're not paying attention.
The
Because
stupid
Dolan,
ass owner.
because Dolan has constantly meddled in basketball operations ever since he took over, Bill.
Hey, like I said, let the basketball people do their thing. Let the hockey people do their thing, and just let and let the other, and just let Dolan sign the damn checks.
Yeah. We can never have nice things.
This is why we can't have nice things, my friend. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. And obviously, there's other factors. Like, is this coach going to get along well with Jalen Brunson, who was very supportive of Tibbs? Um, Karl Anthony Towns was very supportive of Tibbs. Josh Hart. Like, there's that factor. There are players that were pretty upset with Tibbs. I will say that. But if your main guys are cool with him as the coach, like, why break it up? The Knicks were fine. Not
Okay.
his fault that they were bettered by a better team.
Tibbs
But
out of a job. We move forward. Go Knicks.
yeah,
What a joke, though. What a joke the Dolans
it-
are. They really are.
I don't understand it, dude. I don't understand it.
Jim Dolan is a. You know what? I don't care. Jim Dolan's a fucking joke. He's an idiot. The guy is a total idiot. Bro, the guy's a total idiot.
Yeah.
He has no idea what he's doing. This is why I don't like a lot of these billionaires who run teams because they don't know anything about the sport, you know?
Well, the thing is that he was hands off for a long time these past 5 years. You know, hands off. Stay hands off.
Laissez-faire.
Jeez. Now, the I will give this update. Mark Stein, he covers the NBA for the he had done it for many years through many different companies. He had reported the Knicks are expected to formally request permission for Jason Kidd about the head coaching vacancy. Obviously, Jason Kidd is under contract with the Mavericks right now, so um, you know if he, I don't know if he would ever want to leave Dallas to come to New York. Obviously, it's a big job, so it wouldn't surprise me. But so far, we're getting an idea of what the Knicks want and what the Knicks think can get them over the hump.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. And again, this makes no sense. You have someone who took you to the Eastern Conference Finals. This makes no sense, and you fire them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see who they hire next. All right. What do we got on the docket? Oh, return of an old friend, Reggie.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I think anyone with a brain could have saw this coming.
Yeah, that this was in the works for a long time. It was just a matter of when this guy, and of course, it's always about him, Bill.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's always about him. It's never about the teams. It's never, no, him. He makes the decision. He decides when he wants to be here. Rodgers signing, I think it was a 1 year deal. Um, 1 year deal with Pittsburgh. Um, this was not a few months of uncertainty, as people have been saying. This was very much in the works for a while. It's just a matter of when Rodgers wanted to do his thing. And the contract is pending a physical. Um, look, if the Steelers get obviously a quarter, maybe even 40% of where Rodgers was in Green Bay, it's a massive, massive get. Like, don't look, as much as I hated Rodgers being on the Jets, Bill, Rodgers is still good. Like, he still has it in him.
Okay, yeah, he still has it in for some parts, but for the most part, bro, the man is a washed up has-been.
And that's the thing. He's not the same. He's not what he once was. And he's a massive distraction. Massive distraction.
That's
As,
all he
as you
all
see.
all he was on the Jets is was just a giant distraction. Like
Yeah.
your first season, congratulations, you made 4 snaps and then you go down for the year.
Mhm. And then tried this whole spectacle. Oh, I could come back from an Achilles injury after 6 months. Remember that?
The thing is, yeah, listen, put the football aside. The guy's just a drama queen.
Yeah.
Do you want like what happened with the COVID vaccine? Do you when he made that whole stink, how he was going to be RFK Jr.'s running mate? Can we
Hmm.
go one day where he doesn't make an ass of himself? Can we go a NFL season where he doesn't make an ass of himself?
He's coming to mandatory mini camp for Pittsburgh. He's kept telling that last year with the Jets to do whatever on the other side of the world, right? So you're gonna have a massive distraction unless Mike Tomlin can actually be a coach and be like, no, 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 this is my rules. You can do your thing, but you gotta also do my thing.
Yeah, because Tomlin is a pretty
Something
tough
that Salad
dude.
never had.
Tomlin's a pretty tough dude, so
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to put up with any of Rodgers' bullshit.
yeah. And the big thing is making sure that there's no, as we've described it, country club lifestyle for Rodgers that he had in New York.
No, I think Tomlin's got to make it clear. He said, "Hey, listen, dude, you may have been a big shot, but right here, you're just any other player.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and give you any special treatment.
It's about
You
football.
you come to mandatory everything. You
Mhm.
miss it unless it's like an extreme emergency, you're going to get benched."
Yeah. It's football. That's how Pittsburgh needs to approach this. They need to approach it from a football standpoint, which I have a lot more confidence that the Steelers are going to do. Again, the Jets didn't do this. The Jets they allowed Rodgers to walk all over their asses, and it bit them. It bit them big time. So hopefully it's different. Again, 40%. That's all they need. 40%. Though really 25% of what Rodgers used to be. It's a massive get for Pittsburgh, but it has to be football. That's the big thing.
Are
And
you
go ahead.
are you aware of this Facebook account called the White Stephen A. Smith?
I mean, I've heard of it. I haven't seen the content. No.
Yeah, but the guy, he posted this meme. It says the Pittsburgh Steelers landing Aaron Rodgers is finally like banging your high school crush when she's 40 and has four kids.
Right.
And what this meme is trying to say before I get accused of being crass is Rodgers is way past his time. He's 40 something years old. And like, listen, does he still got it in him? Yeah, but at the end of the day, we've seen this over the last couple years. The guy is just a giant distraction. He's just a giant distraction, Reg.
Yeah.
All I can say
But
is I hope the Roonies know what they're getting themselves into.
yeah. Well, look, they're buying into it. So there's nothing. He's gonna be a Steeler.
But you know what? Here's what I want the Roonies to do, though. The Roonies need to let Mike Tomlin be the coach to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and have this country club. Aaron Rodgers is so great. We have to treat him like he's God. No, you gotta let Mike Tomlin be the coach.
Yeah.
Gotta let him be the coach.
Yeah. So, uh, Steelers Jets week one.
Was it gonna be at MetLife or Pittsburgh?
I think it's at home. The MetLife.
I think he's gonna get booed.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that wanted Rodgers to come back. So I don't know. Um, it wouldn't
October
shock me.
October 26th, I think in Lambeau, Steelers are playing the Packers.
Yeah, I think that's a Sunday night.
I wonder what that reception's gonna be like.
I think fans love Rodgers.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think there's any animosity with that.
So Rodgers is a gonna be a Steeler.
Yeah,
Got it. To the shock, Reggie, of absolutely no one.
yeah,
We
no,
all knew he was going to Pittsburgh.
yeah,
To the shock of no one, Pittsburgh has yeah, you dumped your young QB for a 40-something-year-old has-been. Good job, Pittsburgh.
yeah. I mean, and look, I don't know what Justin Fields is going to be like with the Jets. Yeah, I'm not really expecting much. More like a stopgap situation. Okay, if he gets us to the playoffs and Jets don't do anything, cool. I'm cool with it. Um, so it'll be fun week one. I'll tell you that much. It'll be
It's
fun.
going to be a great week one.
Yeah.
All right, so anything else?
I got nothing. Shout out once again to Max Freed. He's so good, Bill. Six shutout innings. I think he had like five strikeouts or whatever. Guardians couldn't touch him. Great bounce back game by him. He needed it. Yankees win again. Win the series against Cleveland at home. Um, Freed has ace-like stuff. And by far, Bill, we'll talk about this on Bombers Banter Sunday, by the way.
Yes, we're
Sunday
doing a
afternoon.
Bombers banter on Sunday.
Yeah. The biggest difference maker this season, Max Fried. It's not even close. He is the
100%.
best part about the Yankee pivot from when they lost out on the Soto sweepstakes. Max Fried is the best part. He's the difference maker.
Yeah, so Yankees tonight, one of the best rivalries in sports. Tonight, Yankees Red Sox this weekend.
Hmm.
We got the Belmont this weekend.
Oh yeah, how about that? The Belmont. Belmont 6. And still in Saratoga, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know who's there this weekend? My brother's actually going to be at the
Oh,
Belmont.
you can be okay. Okay. Hope he
And
has
it's
fun.
funny. Yeah, and it was funny. I was telling you I was in Saratoga last weekend for a wedding,
Yeah,
and they're all getting ready for the Belmont. Like
yeah,
the bar I went into, they were like, "Oh, like today up until like Wednesday, this is the quiet period, and then come Wednesday, we're gonna be at come Wednesday to Sunday, we're gonna be absolutely swamped
right.
because people will be coming from out of town and everything, and yeah." So yeah, because I was sort of there in the period. Okay, we got to get ready for this week with Belmont.
Yeah.
So yeah, Belmont this weekend, Yankees, Red Sox this weekend. We got a lot.
And we'll keep you all covered. SIP whenever we do it next. I forget. Um, busy times. Uh,
Busy times.
busy times. We'll probably be back Monday morning.
Yeah,
And
early.
very early.
Yeah. Okay, so from all of us, if you want to know more, go to www.thesportssocietynetwork.com. Check out our blogs and check out our blogs, our history, and don't forget to check us out we are on all podcast platforms and like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell here on YouTube.
SIN. Follow us for everything.
Yeah,
We appreciate you. We love you. We
and we
thank
thank
you.
you.
And
I'm
have a great
Bill.
weekend.
I'm Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy for Danny Boy
Enjoy.
Reg. Stay safe. Take care. Enjoy your
Bye.
weekend.